the geopolitics of our country. And I think the East African community is one of the most important regional institutions, and perhaps the institution with the biggest potential in bringing together the people of the region, not only in terms of economic cooperation, but also eventually the main vision of the East African people is for an East African political federation. And knowing that, in fact, East Africa is our biggest trading partner and our biggest political allies, and the East African Legislative has been the assembly that legislates the laws of this region, it is very important that we send the best people, the best minds that we have in this country. And I must say that in the past elections that we had of the East African Legislative Assembly, unfortunately, the case has always been to push people who have been rejected politically and to use the East African Legislative Assembly more like a garbage dump to get rid of people who perhaps have not been selected for leadership positions in our own country. And you know that the East African Legislative Assembly members are the face of Kenya. And what I think is that we must send the best minds that we have to be able to push the vision, the mission, and the aspiration of the East African people. If you send someone who has no clue, other than the fact that they have been given a position of payment and privilege, then we are failing in that particular objective. And I urge this House and the leadership of the political parties and the leadership of this country to take this particular matter very seriously and to send our best minds to represent us in the East African region, which is going to be a building block for the bigger vision of a united Africa that can play its role on the global arena so that Africa can take its place in the international politics of the world, and we can be heard as a continent, and we can be players on the global stage. The East African community is just a beginning. It is the first steps for us to assert the fact that we want a stronger economic and political East Africa. Then we go to the Africa level, the Africa Union. And now we have the new trade agreement for the whole of Africa. The East African region will play an important role in that. And that's why I think we should be very, very serious in the people that we send there. It's not just a job for the boys and the girls. It's a job for people who can push us forward and can put our name up there and can develop laws and legislations that will lift up and make the East African region a regional power in Africa and a major player in global affairs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.